Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Where? We're at High Hrothgar. We passed the final trial. We got officially named Dragonborn. And poor Inigo nearly lost his sense of hearing, but he's fine. We've spent a little time here. It's been about a day. And we're hanging out next to this Lorkhan shrine thing here, about to attempt a little bit of meditation. Now, in case it wasn't immediately obvious by this point, I do indeed have a mod installed, which I think it's called Thunderchild, if I recall correctly. It was a really long time ago that I installed it, mind you, so I can't remember exactly. And that's what adds all this extra stuff. Allows us to meditate on the words that we already know from some of the word walls so that we can reconstitute them into new shouts, many of which are listed in that book that we picked up last time. And we do that by meditating, which Fathis is going to go and have a go at in a moment. He's wearing these ridiculous robes. They do look very silly, but Arngir did insist that they would be helpful, so... I mean, I look like some sort of strange cultist. They're just incredibly poorly tailored. Anyway, let's give this a go, shall we? Aim to end your meditation below 20% stamina. Alright. And the bar disappears, which makes it more difficult. So, I would say maybe around now? Meditation interrupted early. Well, I am a beginner. Can't expect this stuff to work right away. I can do this. I've done far more difficult things than this in the past. I can bloody well meditate if I need to now. Let's see. Short breaths in, long breaths out. Empty your head of all thoughts, etc., etc. Right, let's do this again. Until you start to hallucinate little birds again. Early again. Oh, come on, that wasn't below... That must have been below 20% stamina. That's ridiculous. Alright. Give it another go. Once it's restored again. So is this going to be like lockpicking? Is this something I'm not going to be able to talk during? Surely this time. You have meditated successfully. Fantastic. New insights into the voice reveal themselves. Completed meditate study alternate meanings of the first words you know. Started champion of Kine. Carry Kine's fire to the doors of High Hrothgar. Fall for 4 seconds after leaping off with whirlwind sprint. Touch the heavens on Skyrim's tallest peak. Repeatable, gain the voice of the sky blessing. Repeatable, hunt Kine's spirit animals in the wild. Repeatable, shout to the heavens once a day. Repeatable, donate gold to Arngir to support the monastery. Well, that would certainly be a way to get rid of all the huge piles of gold we keep accumulating. Ooh. Whirlwind Armageddon. Mirror Curse. Force Earthquake. Well, that was a fruitful meditation session, well, wasn't it? Armageddon, Curse, and Earthquake. I feel like I must consult the book. Armageddon, Curse, and Earthquake, was it? Right, 1. Cosmic Strike. Call down several meteors upon a small area in front of you. We've got the first word, so yes. Curse. 1. When you lose health, targets lose 3 times as much health. Oh, it's like Reflect. From back in the day. Ah. Earthquake 1 eruption causes a localized shock that blasts targets into the air. Well, these will be fun to play around with, won't they now? And of course we've got Phantom Decoy as well, which I haven't managed to get to work successfully just yet. Alright, well. Let's get out of these ridiculous robes. There we go. No, wrong. I clicked on the wrong thing. I meant this. There we go. And where is my backpack? There it is. Okay. Let's go and collect Inigo, shall we? And we'll head out of here. We've been successfully named Dragonborn for everything that's worth. I have to confess. The Nords are big on their theatrics, aren't they? Getting named Dragonborn was a lot more, well, dramatic and a lot easier, now that I think about it, versus getting named Hortator. That was a pain in the backside. Now, where did I leave Inigo? I think I left him over here somewhere. There you are.
What is on your mind?
Any thoughts?
No, nothing at the moment.
Ah, you've been meditating as well, I see.
Greetings.
Let's go.
Yes, let us go.
Oop. Brief stutter there while he gets all his gear back on. Okay. Should we have another little look around for books before we go? We might have some more in the other wing of the temple. And probably also worth having a chat with Arngeir as well. Oh, cooking pot. We do actually have a bit of cooking to do. Let's see. Leg of roast goat, rabbit haunch. Lovely. Anything else? Not for now. Ah, that's the provisions sorted for the trip back. Right, this is the kitchen. We're not going to find... Well, presumably you wouldn't find anything other than cookbooks in the kitchen. Dirirum Direnis. Ah, the Direni. A fascinating subject, but one that is completely irrelevant right now. Hope of the Redoran, Songs of the Return, Life of the Real Septim the Seventh, the Alduin Akatosh Dichotomy, Jackpot, Inigo. We've hit the motherlode. The Alduin Akatosh Dichotomy, Book 7 of 2920, the last year of the First Era, by Alexander. I don't remember this part of the series. As High Priest of the Akatosh Chantry, I have dedicated my life to the service of the Great Dragon, he who was first at the beginning, he who is greatest and most powerful of all the divines, he who is the very embodiment of infinity. I am, quite obviously, a man of deep and unwavering faith, but not blind faith. For I am also a man of scholarly endeavours, and have always valued education and the pursuit of truth in all its forms. And so, I have had the honour and privilege of making it my life's work to discover the truth about Akatosh in all of our beloved divine's incarnations. Throughout the civilized world, and I refer not only to the Empire, but to every nation on Great Nirn that has embraced the virtues of learning and letters, the Great Dragon is worshipped. Usually the highest of the divines is referred to as Akatosh, but what some may not be aware of is that he is occasionally referred to by two other names as well. The Aldmer refer to Akatosh as Auriel. The Nords call him Alduin. These names come up repeatedly in certain ancient texts. And in one, it is clear that the deity in question is none other than he whom we call Akatosh. Yet there are those who believe, even in this enlightened age, that this is not so. That the regional interpretations of Akatosh are not interpretations of Akatosh at all. Rather, they are references to altogether different deities, deities who may or may not share the same aspects or be the Great Dragon at all. Many Altmer of Somerset Isle worship Auriel, who is the soul of Anuiel, who in turn is the soul of Anu, the Everything. But if you ask the High Elves themselves, as I did when I travelled to Somerset Isle to continue my research, the majority will concede that Auriel is but Akatosh with a different name, coloured by their own cultural beliefs. So maybe it comes as no surprise that the real theological dissension lies in Skyrim, among the Nord people, renowned as much for their stubbornness as they are for their hardiness and prowess on the fields of valour. When I journeyed to the stark White Province, I was surprised to find a people whose views on Akatosh are almost diametrically opposed to those of the Altmer. The majority of Nord people seem to believe that their Alduin of legend is not Akatosh, but another deity entirely. A great dragon, yes, but not the great dragon. Determined to get to the heart of this matter, I consulted with several Nords, chief among them an old and respected clan chief by the name of Bjorn Much-Bloodied. Of course, that's what passes for an old and respected clan chief in these parts, one assumes. And what surprised me most about those I talked to was not that they believed in Alduin instead of Akatosh, but that they recognized Alduin in addition to Akatosh. In fact, most of the children of Skyrim seem to view Akatosh in much the same way I do. He is in fact the Great Dragon, first among the divines, perseverance personified, and more than anything, a force of supreme good in the world. Yes, well, they don't know him like I do. Alduin, they claim, is something altogether different. Whether or not he's actually a deity remains in question. But the Alduin of Nord folklore is in fact a dragon, but one so ancient and so powerful he was dubbed the World Eater. And some accounts even have him devouring the souls of the dead to maintain his own power. Other stories revolve around Alduin acting as some sort of dragon king, uniting the other dragons in a war against mankind, until he was eventually defeated at the hands of one or more brave heroes. It is hard to deny that such legends are compelling, but as both high priest and scholar I am forced to ask that most important of questions: where is the evidence? The Nords of Skyrim place a high value on their oral traditions, but such is the core of their unreliability. The humour passed around the Wayrest market square can change so dramatically in the course of a few simple hours that by the end of the day one might believe half the city's residents were involved in any number of scandalous activities. How then is an educated, enlightened person possibly supposed to believe a legend that has been passed down by word of mouth only for hundreds or even thousands of years? The answer to such a question is simple. He cannot. And so it is my conclusion that the Alduin of Nord legend is, in fact, mighty Akatosh, whose story grew twisted and deformed through centuries of retelling and embellishment. Though no real fault of their own, the primitive peoples of Skyrim failed to understand the goodness and greatness of the Great Dragon, and it was this lack of understanding that formed the basis of what became, ironically, their most impressive creative achievement: Alduin, the World Eater, phantom of bedtime stories and justification for ancient, if imagined, deeds. Well, Mr. What was your name again? Let's flick back to the start here. Alexandra Simon. I do like to get one over on the clergy, but I think you're wrong, old chap. Well, he might be wrong. You see, I have it on very good authority that this Alduin individual exists, because a dragon told me himself. But the question is, do the dragons simply call Akatosh Alduin? Or is Alduin something separate? That is a good question. If Alduin is Akatosh, and Akatosh brought me back here to Skyrim in this fourth era, and Akatosh was simultaneously the one responsible for all these dragons flying about the place, torching every building in sight, where's the sense in any of it? Alternatively, if this Alduin is something else entirely, there's at least an acorn of sense somewhere buried deep down in the earth. My gut is telling me this priest was wrong. I'm taking the book anyway. More frostbite venom. Why not? Songs of the Return. Ysgramor companions. No, not really that helpful right now. What else have they got? Wisp Mother, Remonada, Dwemer Inquiries, Volume 3. Certainly relevant to my interests. Oh, interesting. This relates to some Dwemer stuff in Skyrim. I'm going to be taking this for further study. Oh, and there's volume 1 and 2 as well. There aren't any Greybeards about, are there? No, good. Okay. Let's just have these. Nobody needs to know. Do you know, this entire time I've been here, Inigo, since I arrived in Skyrim, I haven't had a chance to look at a single Dwemer ruin. I simply must rectify this at my earliest opportunity. I've been so busy, it never even occurred to me until this point. Twin secrets. Enchanting stuff. Spirit of Nirn. The Monomyth. Great War. The Great War, eh? I think we've got a copy of that in the library already, actually, back in the museum. What's this one? A Dream of Sovngarde. Sovngarde. It's a Nord thing, isn't it? I seem to recall a very long time ago, on Solstheim, I encountered a Breton scholar who was staying at Thirsk Mead Hall who seemed utterly convinced he'd found a physical entrance to Sovngarde. Can you believe it? What actual nonsense. Anything good in here? Whoa, hello. Bit of treasure. Not really ours to take, but the odd book here and there we can probably get away with, but let's not go overboard. Biography of the Wolf Queen. Lots of copies of books about Uriel Septim VII Inigo. It's the most peculiar thing. It's been centuries since Uriel Septim VII, and yet it almost seems like written record of the emperors after him just doesn't seem to exist. It just cuts off at that point. I've not found anything concerning anyone after him. Don't know what that's about. Anyway, there'll be time for more, academic questions, shall we say, later. Right now, we've got an appointment with the Crime Lord to get to. Where's Arngeir gone? Oh, there you are. Why are you lurking down here?
Your training proceeds well, Dragonborn.
What was all that ceremony about, anyway? What were you shouting at me? I mean, you were, weren't you?
We spoke the traditional words of greeting to a Dragonborn who has accepted our guidance. The same words were used to greet the young Talos when he came to High Hrothgar, before he became the Emperor Tiber Septim.
What did you actually say, though?
I sometimes forget you are not versed in the dragon tongue as we are. This is a rough translation. Long has the storm crown languished, with no worthy brow to sit upon. By our breath we bestow it now to you, in the name of Kine, in the name of Shor, and in the name of Atmora of old. You are Ismir now, the dragon of the north. Hearken to it.
Dragon of the North. I admit it has a certain ring to it, doesn't it? I sort of like it. Sounds a bit more impressive than Hortator, doesn't it? I don't suppose this crown is a physical crown, is it? Or is this some useless honorific title I've been given here? Why? I'd like to learn more about the voice.
You have learned so much already, Dragonborn. Growing your gift too quickly would be dangerous. But there are many words of power in Skyrim, carved in the dragon tongue. Even from here we can feel the Thu'um resonate from them. Finding these lost words would be a sufficient test to temper your abilities with experience. Ask when you are ready to search.
I wonder if he realizes I got my hands on that book back in the library. Let's not bring it up. Have you located any words of power?
We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found.
Sheer point, eh? Okay. Why are the shouts in the dragon language anyway?
Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking. In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort.
And what is this way of the voice you keep talking about?
The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
I see. Tell me about the Greybeards.
We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
Why don't the others talk very much? I feel like I may have already figured out the answer to this, but still.
Their voices are too powerful for anyone not trained in the way to withstand. Even a whisper could kill you.
I see. Why is this not grayed out?
We study
pardon the pun.
the way of the voice. Very few. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege
here we go.
to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
There are only 4 of you?
5. Our leader, Parthenax, lives alone on the peak of the throat of the world. When your voice can open the path, you will know you are ready to speak to him.
Alright. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, or perhaps the dragon in the room, more appropriately. Why are the dragons returning, Arngeir? And what have I got to do with it?
No doubt, the appearance of a dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons.
You've told me this before.
Focus on honing your voice, and soon your path will be made clear.
Blasted priests.
Sky, guard you.
Constantly being cryptic for no good blasted reason, Inigo. This isn't the way out. We need to go this way. Let's see. Shout to the heavens once a day. I could do that. Hunt kind spirit animals in the wild. Gain the voice of the sky blessing. Donate gold. Touch the heavens on Skyrim's tallest peak. Well, we can't get up to the top of the peak at the moment. Fall for 4 seconds after leaping off with whirlwind sprint. That feels dangerous. Carry kind's fire to the doors of High Hrothgar. I wonder if that's that funky green fire down at the bottom of the mountain. Possibly. Shout to the heavens once a day, eh? Whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing it right, am I? Let's try that again. Oh, there we go. It's all about the angle, apparently. I got my hood on. I should really get my hood on. Yes, I do. I mean, well... Come on, we've got to give it a try, Inigo. Just look out above. Oh, I like that. Isn't that's what that huge dragon at Helgen was doing? Something a bit like... It was a lot more impressive now I think about it, but it was something a bit like that it was doing. Interesting. What was the other one? Earthquake. And then there was Curse as well, which is like reflect damage, isn't it? Let's keep moving, we are getting a little cold. Eat a meat pie while we move. I could go for a good pie. I've not had a decent meat pie in a long bloody time, I tell you. Nice steak and kidney pie, that would do me. Right about now. Alright, let's try earthquake, shall we? Foof! Well, without any enemies nearby, I suppose it didn't do anything, although there was a very unsettling rumble. Note to self, Inigo, let's not try messing around with earthquakes while we're stood next to a very steep cliff face with lots of loose rocks on it. Hello there. What the devil is this? Old Hrothgar ruins. Didn't notice this on the way up. Interesting. Let's be a little stealthier to go. There's a fire lit. Wow. An unlootable potion and a skeleton holding 2 satchels. Only one of which I seem to be able to loot. And some ghosts. Some... Yeah, they almost look like Greybeards. Are we going to be in a lot of trouble if we disturb them, do you think? How far down does this go? I'll bet you anything this goes a long way down the mountain. Might be a bit of a shortcut. Come to think of it, that might be water at the bottom. Come to think of it, if one wanted to fall for more than 4 seconds, this might just do it. Carefully does it, Inigo. Let's try not to disturb them. Ancient Greybeard, yes. I'm not going to try and pickpocket a ghost because that seems ridiculous. But he's sort of in the way, isn't he? Oh, let's go. Do you know, I'm not sure if it's even hostile, but let's not push our luck. I feel like they would have... Where's Inigo? Oh, he's there. Ooh, steady. They haven't spotted it yet. I genuinely am not sure if the ghosts are friendly or not, but I'm going to work on the assumption that maybe they're not. Uh-oh.
Who's there?
Greed has caused me a problem here. That's what's happened. Oop. That really wasn't worth it, was it?
I know I heard something. Oh, just getting jumpy, I guess.
They're strangely chatty, these ghosts, aren't they?
Where in you go? Come on, this way. This way. Well, they're not very observant. But apparently they can teleport.